2.5 hours away from Pittsburgh is a very awesome and very unique museum. It's interactive, it celebrates comedy, and it's called the National Comedy Center. And if you still haven't been there, this is going to change your mind. Journey Gunderson, Executive Director with the National Comedy Center, is on the line. And Journey, having been there, it is amazing to see everything in the comedy realm that you can think of, all tailored to a person's humor, like my humor based on my favorite comedians. So for people who don't quite understand that, please tell us more about the National Comedy Center in Jamestown, New York.
Sure. Well, it's the nation's official museum of comedy. And so if you ever just want to spend a day traversing comedy's greatest hits across generations and genres, this is the place. It's also the official National Archive. And for example, we just announced a couple of months ago that Mel Brooks will be placing his career archive with us. But it's really, from a visitor standpoint, an immersive exhibit experience featuring legends from stand-up, TV, film, sketch, satire, animation, late night improv. What's very cool is, my kids are 7, 9, and 11 and absolutely love it and have for a few years in being that young. And then we have bus groups of senior citizens who are retirees who grew up watching Ernie Kovacs or remember all of the days of Johnny Carson, and everyone is enjoying it together. So it truly is something for everyone. And then, of course, there is the Blue Room level. We didn't want to, as one comic put it, Disneyfy the very thing that we were celebrating and censor the very thing we were celebrating. So when we built the museum, we wanted to be able to showcase also some of the boundary-pushing comedy throughout our history. And so there's a lower level down an elevator called the Blue Room, which explores the more risque and boundary-pushing comedy throughout our history. But it's also good for all ages throughout the main floor.
And touching on that floor real quick, you walk in and you see George Carlin's 7 words displayed in such an amazing way that, one, it's incredible, and two, it's like, everything there is just going to have you spending hours. Johnny Carson's theater room also just, wow.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's really special is, comedy's never gotten this treatment, right? Like other art forms have had museums, other artists in other art forms have been revered, and comedians, for whatever reason, have never been treated with this, what we call the Smithsonian treatment here. And I'm thrilled that it was just named by USA Today the best pop culture museum in the country. So if you're in Pittsburgh, a couple hours and change from Jamestown, New York, you're very close to a national attraction that in a few weeks for our festival, for example, we'll have ticket buyer zip codes from more than 40 states. It happens every year. We've had 20 different countries visit. We had visitors from all 50 states within 3 weeks of opening in 2018. So this is in your backyard, but it is a national, if not global caliber attraction.
Yeah, and I do want people to know it is very interactive, so much so that you can do your own stand-up.
Yeah, to some people this may sound really daunting, to others it's appealing. There's one wing of the museum we call the participatory wing, or Be the Performer. So you can, using a teleprompter, perform stand-up bits from your favorite comics, which is really fun, and it gives you a taste of what it's like. You could also, in these green screen rooms, get into scenes from classic comedies, whether it's the Mutt Cuts van scene from Dumb and Dumber, or Sweaty Balls from Saturday Night Live, or the classic Abbott and Costello's Who's on First. There's also a laugh battle where you can try to make your opponent laugh by telling jokes, and we use AI to detect whether their face smiles, and then you win a point. So those are the participatory experiences toward the end of the attraction, but the rest of it is kind of this enjoyable, immersive, passive experience where you're relishing in the greatest television shows of all time or seeing the artifacts. I just met Cliff Clavin, for example, and told him we have his jacket on display, his Postal Service jacket from Cheers in the museum, or there are things from Zoolander. Just some of the greatest artifacts in comedy's history, annotating a really interactive and tech-savvy experience.
And if that wasn't enough, there is a merch store attached. Journey, I got a tie-dye hoodie that I live in during the winter, so tell us more about that.
Oh, it's a comedy nerd's dream. In fact, there is apparel that just labels you a comedy nerd and, congratulates you for having made the trip to Jamestown, New York, to the nation's official museum of comedy. I guarantee you're going to have a good time. And if you don't believe me, read the reviews, because you can see people every day saying, wow, I didn't expect to laugh for 4 hours straight in a museum, but I just did. And one of the greatest ways to experience it is also to come during our comedy festival, the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival. I'm really excited to be welcoming Bert Kreischer to town. He has not yet been to Jamestown or toured the National Comedy Center, and he has 2 shows on August 8th. I kind of say this is like a permission to have a cathartic party vibe experience. Like, come let loose. It's a high energy show. He's been called by Forbes one of the greatest storytellers of a generation. So it's just a permission to have a great weekend of laughter, and I think everyone needs that. We have Jerry Seinfeld on August 6th on Thursday, an incredible stand-up showcase on Friday night, Bert Kreischer on Saturday night, and Seth Meyers closing out the festival on Sunday, August 9th.
ComedyCenter.org is where you get your tickets. You could take a virtual tour there, but you got to experience it in person. So book your trip, and especially because we're giving you a one-tank trip. We're hooking you up with tickets to the National Comedy Center, an overnight stay at the DoubleTree there, and also a $50 spending card. Hey, Journey, you want to include anything else?
It's also the 75th anniversary of I Love Lucy, and we operate the Lucille Ball Desi Arnaz Museum. And so a joint ticket, this trip to Jamestown, you can see multiple attractions in a day, and you're really celebrating the greatest of our comedy heritage, and it's fun for everyone, whether they are a Lucy fan that you know in your family, or someone who's not sure why they're supposed to care about the late great. Everybody of all ages will enjoy this.
Oh, and you get to do the Lucille Ball commercial.
Oh yeah, Vitamita Vegemin.
That's the one. Journey Gunderson, Executive Director, National Comedy Center. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thanks so much for having me.
ComedyCenter.org. Get your tickets.